Alright. Every spellcaster's favorite, am I right? Antimagic Field. 8th level Abjuration, yes. Casting time 1 action, range of self, 10-foot radius sphere, components, verbal somatic, material, pinch of powdered iron or iron filings. Duration, concentration, up to 1 hour. A 10-foot radius invisible sphere of anti-magic surrounds you. This area is divorced from the magical energy that suffuses the multiverse. That's ambitious. Within the sphere, spells can't be cast, summoned creatures disappear, and even magic items become mundane. Until the spell ends, the sphere moves with you, centered on you. Spells and other magical effects, except those created by an artifact or a deity, are suppressed in the sphere and can't protrude into it. A slot extended to cast a suppressed spell is consumed. While an effect is suppressed, it doesn't function, but the time it spends suppressed counts against its duration. Targeted effects. Spells and other magical effects, such as Magic Missile and Charm Person, that target a creature or an object in the sphere, have no effect on that target. Makes sense? You're in the sphere. What's gonna hit you? Anything magic-wise, it can't touch you. Next one, Aries of Magic. The area of another spell or magical effect, such as Fireball, can't extend into the sphere. If the sphere overlaps in an area of magic, the part of that area that is covered by the sphere is suppressed. For example, the flames created by a wall of fire are suppressed within the sphere, creating a gap in the wall if the overlap is large enough. It's nice, it doesn't instantly cancel the spell if it just happens to clip some of its effect, but it does overlap and be the dominant in its region. It's good. Spells! Any active spell or other magical effect on a creature or an object in the sphere is suppressed while the creature or object is in it. Makes sense. Suppressing the effect present. Not much else to say on that one. Magic items. The properties and powers of magic items are suppressed in the sphere. For example, a +1 longsword in the sphere functions as a non-magical longsword. Magic weapons' properties and powers are suppressed if it is used against a target in the sphere or wielded by an attacker in the sphere. If a magic weapon or piece of magic ammunition fully leaves the sphere, for example, if you fire a magic arrow or throw a magic spear at a target outside the sphere, the magic of the item ceases to be suppressed as soon as it exits. That's pretty good if you're using... or if you have people buddied up around you that have a bunch of magic arrows, you just can't initially cast the spell within it. But any specific magic arrows... Oh, I don't think Smite would work. Though there's not many Smite spells that can carry on range, but because it's a spell effect cast on one, even though it's suppressed, you can't cast it initially in there. Would that work? Guess that would. If you cast a spell that buffs an item, they then enter... Right. This doesn't force you to drop concentration. So if you cast the item, the buff on the item, like magic weapon or elemental weapon, they walk in... They fire it, then there's no magic within the sphere, it leaves, then that spell is back on the item. Magical travel. Teleportation and planar travel fail to work in the sphere, whether the sphere is in the destination or the departure point for such magical travel. A portal to another location, world, or plane of existence, as well as an opening to an extra-dimensional space, such as that created by the rope trick spell, temporarily closes while within the sphere. Not permanently, but temporarily. Just shuts down a lot of things. And when it comes to creatures, well, that's the next tab. Creatures and objects. A creature or object summoned or created by magic temporarily winks out of existence in the sphere, such as a creature instantly reappears once the space the creature occupied is no longer within the sphere. Okay, so it's concentration for an hour, meaning that, let's say, this big demon or devil was summoned, and is just standing there, was running towards you, and you just walk into its position. You stay there for an hour, it's not going to be coming back, until that hour passes, and then you have a very angry high-level demon next to you. That's a bit of a gamble. 8th level at this level. You're probably doing a bunch of crazy shit. A bunch of crazy stuff. Dispel magic. Spells and magical effects such as Dispel Magic have no effect on the sphere. Likewise, the spheres created by different Antimagic Field spells don't nullify each other. Higher level Abjuration, and it's Abjuration itself, and even though Dispel is the same school, yeah, it's still magic. So it can't enter the sphere. The sphere trumps it. But the other one where other Antimagic Field spells or effects don't nullify each other, I'm trying to think of a situation where a lot of those will overlap. It's good they have that caveat, but, for this spell, the big issue is this is an 8th level spell, meaning it has to be a full caster that's casting this. It's only on self, and that's locking you down. This is all you can do. Because you can't cast any spells while within this. You are just concentrating on this and maybe firing a short bow if you have the proficiency. It's it's very powerful and it trumps a lot of other effects and abilities and even some creatures, depending on where you are. It's just way too much of a investment, both in spell slot level and basically having one of your party members just holding concentration on a single effect. A lot of their other abilities now unable to function. So that even though it can cover a lot of things and has a lot of these effects and this nice long list, it's only really useful at its best in a very niche environment, because there's so many other spells that could be cast, depending on the encounter. It's so particular to when this would be better than just other damage spells, or movement-based spells, or buff spells, or other things you're holding concentration on. For how great this spell is, and how much I really like it, as an abjuration spell, a high-level one, I gotta give it a 2 out of 10. It's really good, but it's just too niche, especially for the level it's at. I just can't. For everything, it shuts down. 2 out of 10.